our game plan was we play fast, and we didn't want to play fast. We wanted to walk the ball off the floor, which we did, and that kept us from getting transition threes today. Because one of the staples of our offense is transition threes, because I have so many guys that can shoot the ball so well. And we decided to give that up because we knew if the game went up and down. We watched them play Green Bay, and they scored 64 points in the first half. And Green Bay plays a transition game. And so we felt if we could make the score in the 60s, we would have a chance. You know, with a young team that, you know, were physically not men yet through the team. That was the only way, I thought. And we couldn't stop them. I mean, their speed in Winston is so unbelievable in transition with his change of direction and change of pace with the ball and the way he can control the ball and find people. We couldn't stop it. The zone, I thought, really hurt him. I thought the two things that have been our Achilles heel this year, that as we learn and grow as a basketball team, are our half-court defense and our rebounding. And tonight, they were strengths. I thought we really guarded in the half-court. And when Xavier fouled out, and I don't know how much time was left. To me, it seemed like a lot of time. But when he fouled out, it was a 12 or 13-point game. We were leading the rebounding battle, and they only had 4 offensive rebounds. And I would question, you can go back a long time in this building for them to play 34, 35 minutes and only have 4 offensive rebounds. And so I am really proud of the steps that we made forward as a team. This is I've never been in a transition like this before where we have nobody that played last year. And to put a whole new team out there and come into this environment against a top 10 team in the country and to compete defensively and on the boards like they did, I'm really, really pleased. Obviously, our transition defense isn't very good, and it's something we're going to have to work on, but I don't think I'm going to see Cassius Winston again unless we play in the NCAA tournament. I don't think I'll see anything like that.
Greg, you obviously have a young team. You've mentioned that, but you've played these Spartans a lot. How good is this team?
It's a different team. Tom and I talked a little bit before the game, and as you prepare for them and as you look at them, I mean, there's no, Cassius might get mad at me and Warden might get mad at me for saying this, but I don't see a lottery pick out there. I see pros out there. I mean, I think both those guys are pros, but I don't see lottery picks. And so it's just, there's no Jaren Jackson that last year we knew we weren't going to score anything by the rim. We knew. So when you prepared for them, you thought there were things that you could do against them. Then you go play them, and you find out you can't. And I think they had 27 assists or something again tonight. They are the fastest team that I've played against in 40-some years. I didn't play. That's kind of a football there, right? That I've coached against, okay? And I'm glad I didn't play. They're the fastest team that I've seen as far as not just fast, but getting something done. I mean, they get stuff done with their speed. Ward is unbelievable. I mean, look at him. You can't think he's going to get down the floor like that. And he's frailing away, hitting people in the face, knocking people off, doing all this, gets the ball away. And we're trying to sprint back. We're screaming and yelling about running. And I've just never seen a team that's that fast, but also gets things done. And I give it all to Winston. He is so good with the basketball and gets it where it belongs. And when you start to leave him, he gets to the rim. And he's just a smart, he's an innate understanding of the game. So when you look at that, with all the teams, I've never seen a Michigan State team like that. I've seen fast teams. I don't think I've ever seen any team like that. So my opinion is, I think they're really, really good. Really good. Not good, really, really good.
Coach, you mentioned a little bit their assists, making the extra pass and being really unselfish. How tough is that to defend?
It's very tough, and that's what, we came in the game with one of the top assist turnover ratios in the country. That's what I think we do really well, and we shoot it really well. But we're really with Xavier's the only guy that really can score at the basket. The rest of them are, really aren't very good in there with the ball. So they've got so many guys that can score by the rim too, that what do you do? What do you do? and they're really good. We tried to double the post. He did a good job of kicking it out, and then they made the next pass. And against the zone, I thought we're not a zone team, but to compete with them, we had to play zone. And I thought we ran, we competed out there, but they always seem to be able to make that next pass, and that's a hard thing to guard.
Coach Braden Norris was 6 of 7 from 3 again, came into the game shooting 61% from 3. This isn't a small sample size anymore. How good can he be?
Well, I don't think he can be any better than he's been. I mean, I think he is what he is. Sound like Herman Edwards now? I think he is what he is. I mean, you give him a second, he gets it off quick too. You give him he did that against Michigan State now, right? And he's really good. I mean, he had one turnover, and it was a sloppy early turnover, which, we ran a set play, and he kind of telegraphed a pass that they took. The rest of the night, he never turned the ball over. I'm shocked he only had a few assists, but we average 20 assists a game, so either the guy here doesn't like us and didn't want to give us assists, or maybe we were playing too much one-on-one. Normally, the way we play, we get a lot of assists, and he's usually, a 7-to-1 guy. So as a freshman in this environment against that level of competition, I think he proved his worth. He's really good, and we're really fortunate to have him on our team.
Greg, Tom's talked a lot about trying to find his rotation the last couple of weeks, and really he goes with a shorter lineup right now than in previous years, but there was a lot of balance in that team tonight. I guess, how deep do you see them going right now?
Well, it's hard. It's one of the hardest things to do as a coach. And he's got a really good freshman class, and finding time for him. In this day and age, kids, I got a really good freshman class, and I got to play them together tonight for the last 7 minutes of the game, and I finally got to do that. I didn't like that we were down 30, and that's why we did it, but it's good to see. And he got to play his freshman class a lot tonight. But, we're a win-now society. It doesn't matter what Greg Kampe's done at Oakland or what Tom Izzo's done at Michigan State. Those people that pay that money, they want to win right now. And as a coach, we understand that. And it's a fine line of developing your bench and playing to win. And, Big Ten play, well, how do you take Cassius Winston out of the game? That 3-man rotation of Goings, Ward, and Tillman, how do you put another guy in there? Those guys, we're here to win. That's our job. That's Tom's job, is to win. And so it's a tough thing. At night, I guarantee you, he watches more film than any person in the history of basketball would want to watch. That's what we do. And we look and we try and probe and find ways to get guys minutes, and all the fans want, well, why didn't he play? Why did you play him? Well, we did it because we want to win. All right? And yeah, we want to get this guy minutes, but we're not going to give him minutes at the expense of losing. And a game can change like that. Look at the game tonight. It was people that didn't watch the game and go, oh, wow, they kicked the crap out of Oakland. They didn't kick the crap out of us. What was it, 12 with 5 minutes? How much time was left when he fouled out? Anybody know?
7:45.
It was a 12-point game with 7 minutes to go. And it ended 30. In a basketball game, things can change like that. And so I got to worry about my team. I don't want to worry about his, but I know what I'm thinking. I'm sure he's thinking the same things.
How much does playing the competition you've played during this stretch as usual help prepare you for Horizon League now that that's here?
Well, I just say this, and maybe I'm defending myself to critics, but because there's a lot of people that don't think we should play the schedule we play. We haven't been home since November, and we got our first 2 league games on the road too. But if you go to February and you look at teams' records in February, ours is as good as theirs in the country over the last 2 decades. We're really good in February. I think last year we had all those injuries and maybe we're 4-4 in February. But before that, we might have been 3rd or 4th best in the country over the last decade. Those are league games that prepare you to either win a championship or get you ready for the tournament. That's my goal, is to win our league. Now, our fans want me to win the league tournament and go to the NCAA tournament. I want to do that too. But the truth of the matter is, you want to win your league championship, because over 18 games, you're the best team or you're not the best team. You fight through injuries, you fight through this, you do this, and you excel. To do that, you got to win in February. Why do we win in February? I think because of who we play. I think because of our schedule. We're not gonna see Cassius Winston once in our league, but we're gonna see Ty Appleby at Cleveland State, who's a Jet at our level. So this is what helps us.
Coach, to add to what Larry said, as you said, you have a young, inexperienced team. What's your message to them after this game?
We talked about being 0-0 and then we got through this, and now, you know, I was a little bit negative about the transition and the effort and that. And then I stopped myself, I caught myself, and I stopped myself. Everything's positive from now on. I mean, it's time to play now. If I just believe what I just said, it's time for us to go. We're 0-0. I like my team. You know, there's no Jalen Hayes, there's no Kay Felder out there, there's no Kendrick Nunn, but kind of like Michigan State's team. You know, I think he really likes his team. I really like my team. I think we're going to be really good. I think before it's over, this year, you know, I don't want to talk about next year. I think next year could be a special year. But I think we can be this year. And so I have to be positive with the players. You got a point guard, that's half the battle, and I think we've proven we got one. We got a post player that can really score the ball. You know, he didn't have his best game today. You got the crap beat out of him out there, though. You know, this was so unlike Michigan State Oakland games where there's normally 40 free throws shot. You know, our games are usually bloodbaths. Today there was a bloodbath and nobody was calling anything. I mean, they shot 12 and we shot 8. So, I like my team. We're going forward. I really do.
Greg, real quick, you mentioned the bloodbaths of the past. Izzo would prefer them to do games like they did tonight where they really let a lot go. Or do you share that sentiment?
Against Michigan State, no.
No, but in general.
Against everybody else, yes. Because I want my players on the floor, and he does too. But their physicality is as good as there is in the country. And their strength coach must be phenomenal, because I recruited Goings. He turned us down to walk on here. He didn't look anything like he looks now. And so that's who Michigan State is. And so, of course, he wants that. I want that in regular season games, too, because we're not deep, especially in the post. And if Xavier's out of the game, you saw what happened as soon as he went out. When he got hurt and got that cramp, we did a really good job. But once he was gone and they knew he was coming back, kind of the air went out of us. Anything else? We'll see you next year.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.